Yeah, so basically what I'm looking at here, but this needs it needs a little bit of thinking, right? I mean, we have these smart references. Now yeah, there's a reference to specific sections in the document instead of just to the whole entry. So the cross-reference. And there's a few different things going on there. Right, so that's a cross-reference to the entry itself. That little 2 indicates that it's a cross-reference to section 2. So, but what actually needs to happen here, that's cross-reference, kruisverwijzing. Now, there's a few different things. There's a few different things going on here that we need to look at. The one is the way it's displayed, and the second is the way it links. Currently, if we click on it, problem 1 is this is just a reference to the main entry itself, not the particular sense, the section. That's a reference to the section. The second thing is this needs to be displayed differently. So it needs to be displayed like using the title of the section. Now we do have an option here, like references display children, and in theory, could do something like that. And then under the kruisverwijzing, add something like that, okay? And then you could add the name of the section or whatever you're referencing. I don't like that because it's a manual thing. It's a bit of extra work for the client. But I don't have to, yeah. And then the only other problem with that is that's still a reference to the head word. So I'd have to just add an option that converts the reference to a reference to a particular sense. If there's when I'm next in line to be paid, pay me up, man. So we maybe need to add a new not that. Begin hyperlink coming. A new option. First of all, then we'd have to have something here like with senses. But then this one would actually have to be hidden. The thing is, there's so many different variations and little rules on what a user might want to do here. For different projects, different clients. I don't know, it feels weird to just add lots and lots of options in here. And then on an ad hoc basis. And then yeah, this needs to be overridden in the online generator to do something like this, to have possibly the anchors. So or it could be added, yeah, like So basically something like that, but either, there's so many different ways we could look at this. Or instead of doing this, we still just only do that, but the head word, yeah. But it's, do something else here, like if sense option blah blah. It's almost like we want something like a custom XRF generator. That takes a references node in fact, yeah, what about XSLT? What about we convert the reference node to an XML snippet and have the ability to pass it to XSLT, and then we take the returned XML from the XSLT and we an export formatted on it, a special sort of export formatted on it. So whatever we have left, ref to lemma sensor section, sense1, blah blah, and then that. So the XSLT rule could return something like, and this is then for display, begin link, or it could be Lua that does this. There's some advantages to both. I think Lua gives us a little bit more power. We could have a special. What does it return though? What does it return? The same XML? So you could say begin hyperlink. Yeah, the other tricky part is this must work both for the online formatted exporter and for the. And then it would replace this entirely, this whole thing, right ref lim string. This entire thing would be, in fact, not even this function, but so this whole thing could then be considered just a generator, right references of type. Output dynamic tree. What is going on here? Dynamic tree, yeah, that's basically what we want to do. We want to generate a little piece of dynamic tree, which we could do with Lua. That will allow this whole thing to be very ad hoc customizable by clients for any now the whole concept of building custom tree, we could still generate XML. It could just be, but it would be special XML. It's not the usual. Because I mean, what XML do we use to represent? Because we don't have that currently, the whole concept of a hyperlink, simple as it sounds. What do we? It's basically the same concept as XSLT, where you take in XML and you spit out XML of another, but it'll be a special type. It's almost a new DTD, the XML, where yeah, so this function, write references begin. Write references begin, write references end. Let's check if this is in the Lua API. No. So we can change this. So if we have a references node, it calls write references begin. Okay. But what if you don't want to do this stuff here in between, the normal stuff? So we should have a write references node that calls all the normal stuff between it, but then you should have the ability to suppress it from doing that. So it says if we want hmm. Hmm? That's very weird. Seems very hard coded. Write references begin. Altering references. If references display children. It's that custom option we saw earlier. Yeah, so this stuff requires actually so yeah, I'm just thinking what's the best approach here. So I'm not programming very much because I'm thinking. Let's just see if the application is building. F7. No, I've broken the world. Oh yes, because of that stuff. There was something else I wanted to look at here. I hate the way Instagram tries to prevent you from saving the image. Like, that's so lame. Like, I know why they do it, obviously, but it's like, screw you. If I'm gonna save I've just got a screenshot utility and grab the screen. Screw you, Instagram. Right. I know the latest Windows has that kind of utility just built in. So what I wanted to do there, I just wanted to test something else here that's not to do with this. Not sure if this is going to work. Some art related stuff. Wow, that was quick. HSB saturation inverted. Yeah, that looks freaky. Saturation. Looks terrible. I have nightmares. Right, saturation map. That is weird. That's a Chromium AU map. I've got some code in here that generates a number of interesting things for my art stuff, and I wanted to just get it working again because I haven't looked at it in a long time. That looks absolutely horrible. Must have some pretty yeah, so this whole concept, experimental, build, yeah, so this, for example, all this, it's very hard-coded, again, but for a different type of database. Like, there's so many different approaches to cross-references. Different dictionaries, different software work differently with the cross-references. So there's like a folio views approach and a, this approach, this LDOS, and there's, RDMDPS approach, and there's, so it's kind of like what we really want. And in fact, we should think about it in a number of ways. A way to generically transform TZ references to output tree, customize the output transfer, and in fact we can think even more generically, a way to generically customize the output transform of any kind of node while generating the formatted output tree. In a way that allows xrefs, right? So we have this generic. This could be a very powerful idea. This is actually, there's already something like this, something a little like this in the code. We've separated the idea. So this software, the C++ code generates two different applications. So one in Lex as well as So on actually 3. So on TL database as well. Terminology. Okay, so TL term, TL database, and TLex suite. All generated from the same code, but there's a few differences in the way it generates the output. And so like TLex does dictionary specific stuff, and this so what it does is when the terminology output is generated in a different way, but there's like a core formatted exporter, okay, core like output generator thing, and then there's another thing called a formatted exporter. So we already, this is also a step in the direction of such a system. So we allocate this thing. If it's a term document, we allocate a it's like an object factory type of thing. We register formatted exporters, and TL term registers a allocate export a term export. Okay, so so this preview area, like if you run TL term and you open a terminology document, okay, triangle, no, TL term with a variety of languages. Okay, so we open this TL term, right, and we've got our output here on the right hand side. Here we open like a dictionary in TLex, and it generates a dictionary output in the preview area. But there's things here that are specific to dictionaries, like the specific way cross-references are handled. There's things here that are specific to TL term, like also the way cross-references are handled, but in a totally different way. They're kind of automatically, if I want to add a, how it works is we add a synonym to the same entry, okay, and then even though it's the same entry, it appears twice in the list, and one of them becomes just a cross-reference to the display second synonym onwards as a cross-reference. Okay, so when we export, where's the hand entry? I think it only happens if we export. Or did I just turn off the option? Oh, I just turned off the option, that's all. Yeah, so the second one, like, boom, it becomes and that's very terminology specific. So basically we created I created a object-oriented model with an object factory, and to generate the preview output in TL term, to do that very specific stuff, it allocates TC term export, which derives from the space class of our export formatted. Okay, and basically when it writes an entry, it does those special things, but it ends up calling functions in the formatted export, like generic functions for our article, or begin column of a table, or very basic formatting stuff. You can do things like begin bold or begin hyperlink. All that happens in export formatted. No, all that happens in the output generator. So the base class of a formatted exporter has a pointer to something called an output generator, and there's a generic output generator which generates with just virtual functions. It's an abstract thing, and then there's specific output generators for HTML, for the preview, for RTF if you're exporting to Word. It's actually quite a complex system. It's very cool. So you have all these different types of generators, in a sense, that generate different types of documents in into output, they can then be exported as any kind, like RTF or XML or HTML. Right, so what I'm talking about now is extending the system, taking the same concept, but making it more powerful and customizable and flexible, so that you could, in theory, I mean, what we could do is take the, if we go to that export formatted, right? The export formatted has pointed to an output generator there. Okay, so if we were to pass the current output generator, we could pass the current output generator to Lua, to a Lua script. Then the Lua script could actually call things like begin table or begin hyperlink, write text, begin it's not exactly how it should be. It should be more like, should it? Begin style. Yeah, actually that is right. So the basic idea, if we were to pass the output generator to Lua and then allow a special type of yeah, so we could then assign any element or node type, any element type, a custom Lua script that can transform that data to output. So there's two different things to XML, XSLT, kind of a Lua XSLT. Two different ideas here. So an element of transfer the data output. So that if we have the folio views example, we will jump links and jump destinations. Then we could say assign the jump link an output generator that does something like begin hyperlink, blah 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 blah, end up link for the cross references. And should this also be a directive class? So we should have something like a C++ base class. Let's call it a generic node transformer. Okay, and then one of these can be, for example, say hard-coded, say a TLex references node. Could just be inherit from that. Okay, and then we could have also say a Lua node transformer, and for output, I wonder if we should have a chain model. So you could have like you could chain them like XSLT, generic node transformer. So you could have one that transformer XML. This would also be a C++ class that has a Lua script that it calls, then yeah, okay. And either we could have two options. And either on the output, make some output XML, and that's it. Takes a pointer to the output generator in the Lua script directly. Does its custom output. Okay, I'm going way overboard. This is really rewriting the whole TLex. Okay, this dev ideas. fix it 2020. I don't know if that makes sense. Okay, but anyway, so how does that tie back to this? Yeah, I like that idea. I really like this idea. I really like it. Very nice idea, but I don't know. It's complex, isn't it? I don't know. I'm not going to do it now. I need to go about meat. Yeah, I'll do that after this is finished. It's very windy here today. I really like this idea. Why am I on my own in the is there nobody else streaming? All live streams. Yeah. Normally there's like several people. Last week there were 4. But I started streaming later. Anyway. So yeah, my colleague Malcolm, he did something similar for the is he going to avoid the warranty of the laptop? Really, do not do things like that. It's just stupid as a rule. Okay, I have enough stress in life. But yeah, if this laptop gets toasted with coffee, destroyed by coffee, yeah, I'm gonna have yeah, it's not gonna be fun. I need to actually buy another computer for this office. I need a computer monitor. And monitor keyboard. I wonder if I can get now on Sunday evening. Probably not. It was on. Get the Mac working. I need to also get my subversion working. Okay. The meat place is still away. In 15 minutes, I'm gonna go run and see if I can buy meat. Okay. So maybe. Oh yes, that's what I wanted to look at. Now, this whole system of my colleague Malcolm's for Encyclopedia Catalana. I don't even know if you pronounce it like that. How do you pronounce Catalana? Yeah, this is one of my little pet peeves. You go, how to pronounce something. Like, you'd think.
Catalan.
That is wrong. That is totally wrong. It is not. That doesn't even sound like a human speaking. That sounds like a damn. In Catalana, that vowel does not even exist outside of English. Like, alright. No. Catalana. I wonder if this.
Catalana.
No, it's wrong, and that doesn't even sound like a human speaking. It's wrong. It's wrong. It's wrong. That sounds like somebody just. This is a satire channel. What? That sounds like somebody. It's automated. It doesn't even sound like a human speaking. It sounds like somebody just did a text to speech. Yeah, that's right. It makes me angry actually. The people who make these YouTube channels, how to pronounce, and then you with a wrong pronunciation, they deserve to be slapped. Somebody should go and just slap them. Actually. All right. It's like there was one. I want to know how to pronounce Iraq, like the name of the country. Like I want to get the pronunciation right because I don't know how you pronounce it. I was wondering how you pronounce Iraq. I still don't know. And then I type how to pronounce Iraq, and you go to this YouTube channel, this YouTube video, how to pronounce. Okay, and then they pronounce it like Iraq or something like that, and I'm like, no, that I don't speak Arabic. I may not speak Arabic, but I know that is not how you pronounce it. It definitely is not. I mean, it's much more likely it's closer to like Iraq or Iraq or also with the phone manufacturer. Like I use Huawei phones. This is Huawei. Okay, Huawei, and it's got tones as well. Huawei. Okay, no. And you type how to pronounce Huawei, just find out how to pronounce it. And like most of the videos are completely wrong. Like it's a Chinese company. You don't pronounce it like Huawei or Weiwei or whatever the hell people try to pronounce it. I mean, it's a Chinese name, people. I found one video that pronounces it correctly. by a Chinese person. Can't remember which one it was. No, that's not it. It was actually like somebody Chinese lady explaining how. Anyway. So where was I? This whole output system kind of does something similar, but whoops. There's something. Something in the output. That allows Lua sort of hook points. Allows the normal that Malcolm did, that the normal my colleague Malcolm, that allows certain things to be overridden by Lua scripts for generating the XML. Similar concept, but not. It's not. So I want to. It's kind of the same concept that I want to apply here, but in try and make it slightly more generic, powerful approach. So yeah, like XSLT could just be one of these types of node transforms. I'm a little bit hesitant to just let the Lua script have a pointer to the output generator because the output generator's APIs and it shouldn't. It's not really stable. And there's questions unresolved in my head, like should it have something like begin bold? Does it? I don't know. Don't we have something somewhere like begin bold? Control Shift F, begin bold. And like begin element or article. This shouldn't know about articles. Really, we want something new. That's the same idea, but a little bit more. And I guess chunk stuff. Begin chunks. Like the chunk thing is part of obsolete. Is it or not? I'm not sure. Yeah, I was also wondering the other day how you pronounce like Qatar. Like I was flying Qatar Airways, and like, but even like they don't even get it right. Like you have videos on the flight where the lady speaks English, or they speak in 3 different languages or whatever, 2 different languages, and you get an English version, and then like the lady who's reading English is just somebody somewhere in this big corporation hired to read some English translations. She's a voice artist. She doesn't know anything about how you pronounce Qatar. So you end up in a situation where the own company is creating material that says something like Qatar Airways, and I guess they want to pronounce it like most of either that or they want to pronounce it wrong or differently in English. But I think it's more like nobody cares. Nobody really cares to get it right. Anyway, trying to think now how to solve this references problem though, because if I can throw together something based on this in a short amount of time, like if I can get it may only take me a few hours, and if I can get the core idea right, then maybe I can just write a few classes and create this experiment, because I need to think about it a little bit more before I decide. Oh yeah, people are pronouncing Huawei as Huawei, Huawei, which is totally wrong. And I met someone the other day who was like actually proud of how he thought he could pronounce the name correctly, and he tried to correct me. When I said Huawei, he was like, Huawei. Anyway, 20 titles, okay. So in this one, it might be instructive just to look at a few. Open TLex file. Just to look at this, how this jump destination stuff works here. Okay, shift target. Yeah, the other tricky thing though with this is like I've implemented this, but in a semi-hard-coded way, which I actually also need to look at this weekend. Take a break. Try be back later. I'm not sure if I'll be back anyway. Yeah. Just wait a minute. I could just look up in here. Wait, I know where to find out this information. We just go in here and we go Catalan and we look it up. Catalan, Catalan. No, it's not in. That's weird. Why don't they have? Catalan. I mean, I get that, yeah, that's English, okay, so, but now, pronunciation, oh, there is, Catala, but then what's Catalana? Catala, Catalan, to speak plainly, but the pronunciation here is, that doesn't sound right. Catala. You know, I'm not sure if I'm interpreting that correctly. I must be very careful now, because this is the actual live database. If I edit it, the dictionary changes. Alright. Okay. Right. Okay, I'm taking a break. That